right, so good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. And it is Thursday. We're coming down to the end of another week and getting closer and closer and closer to Carnival Monday and Tuesday. All right, well, I'm getting closer to Fantastic Friday because I'm going to Hartford. Yeah, but I'm going to take in Hartford. The Hartford going to be the vibes. Trust me. All right. Seth was there last year. He tell me, boy. I mean, a lot of people went last year. They say, yeah, boy, Bungie have a different product, boy. You know what I mean? Giving it a real, how Fete used to be kind of vibes. The era I grew up in now. You know, the era of Brass Festival and thing when, you know, you sell you beer back and that kind of thing and one of your shoe bits in. All right, so, yeah, we're getting closer to that. This weekend, of course, a lot happening in the Carnival circle. Last night, I think, was the pan crawl with the big bands because the Queen's Park Oval was pumping last night. Invaders, I think they put on a performance at the Oval Car Park, if I'm not mistaken. But it had real people. The place was just a buzz last night, but in the Woodbrook area. And then, well, throughout, you know, the whole West, because eventually they had to go down into Phase 2 Panyard and that kind of business. It really had a lot of movement, a lot of people, that kind of thing. So a few things going on there with the Carnival, man. I haven't gotten into the Carnival Bacchanal, but we'll get into that, you know, soon enough. Tomorrow we're going to be live from the big stage at the Queen's Park Savannah. Yeah, we're going to be between the North Stand and the Grandstand, man, on the big stage. And we do have some people booked for tomorrow. They include two of the members of the committee for the St. James Kiddies Carnival. We also have the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Bands Association President, the Pan Trinbago President, Beverly Ramsey Moore, and we have the Mao brothers and possibly Lord Nelson popping in, as well as Sherwin Winchester. So we have a packed show tomorrow morning from the Queen's Park Savannah, and it's going to be very interesting. It'll be very fast-paced and interesting and exciting, all right? I like doing these kind of things, you know, and I'm glad that NCC has, you know, given us the opportunity to broadcast out of studio. You know, last week, Friday, we had the Carnival Village with the broadcast. Now we're on the big stage at the Queen's Park Savannah, where we will be for the next 2 weeks, next 2 Fridays. That's just terrific because we do so many outside broadcasts when we cover carnivals outside of Trinidad and Tobago. So we said, you know what, let me take the show outside in TNT, you know what I mean? And of course, there was a concept that we were working with coming down to the end of 2025. I don't know how we're going to work out now, given the other job that I'm doing at 9 a.m. But we had something called the Home by You, which was an interesting concept, like, you know, like that. I don't know if we're going to revisit that or whatever, but because like I say, I have a 9 to 12 now. After my 6 to 8. I have a 9 to 12. Right? So we'll see how that goes. But some interesting stuff coming out yesterday. My goodness, the Bacchanal. I don't think with all the political Bacchanal we have, I don't think you need Carnival Bacchanal, you know. Oh boy. And I see here that, well, the Newsday website hasn't updated anything yet. But I just want to mention this TCL price hike that is coming. As it relates to some of the news that took place over the last few hours, right? Where TCL is giving customers a heads up about a potential price increase once the proposed increase in natural gas prices is approved. And I want to remind people, like I said yesterday briefly, that while TCL is talking about raising their price, TCL has monopolized the market for some years well. And you see, the problem with TCL now is they want to raise the price again, and Rockhard Cement is back on the market, right? So they have a competitor now who has always kept their price low, all right? So I am waiting to see how that works out for TCL, because the Minister of Finance said that a lot of these companies that talking about the gas price increase through NGC, there are ways that they could absorb it, right? But of course, they don't like to absorb nothing, and they like to pass on the cost. But I'm waiting to see how that works out for TCL, because you have a competitor on the market now. They're back and they're in business. So we will see where that goes as it relates to that, right? And of course, that gas price is due to, the companies that extract that gas for Trinidad and Tobago. They are raising their price. And of course, NGC will have to, because when you have TNTech, when you have a state entity like TNTech owing NGC $7 billion, a bill that was run up under the last administration, that TNTech new board now have to figure out how they're going to clear that. So they won't pay any bills. And we know they won't pay any bills because up to sometime in 2023, early 2024, the bill was like $4 billion or $5 billion, some kind of thing. So, this is the information we got. But according to my source on the board, which is my co-host on radio, is $7 billion. That's what they discovered. So, if those bills were being paid, NGC probably could have absorbed the cost of the increase because they were being paid their money. But when you have a debt outside that hanging around a $7 billion debt, and you wouldn't even know probably when you're going to get part of that money or a significant amount of that money or the whole payment or whatever the case might be. It's not just so the government now just come with a backlog of payments like that and then say, look, you're $7 billion, right? $7 billion we're talking about. So that within itself is going to be a challenge. But nevertheless, the other thing that I wanted to propose, and before I talk about that, I want to mention after the first break at 6:25, we're going to have former Commissioner of Police and National Security Minister Gary Griffith on. We'll have him on via Zoom. I'll have a little conversation with him on the comments made by the Commissioner of Police concerning that shooting in St. Augustine, and if that ZOSO bill that was rejected was the right play. Okay? If it could have had added value, or what maybe the government could have done to maybe make the bill more attractive to the independent bench, right? But I also see that the Prime Minister has alleged that 2 independent senators approached the government, right, asking for some inducements for the vote. I see that she put that out on social media in no uncertain way. As a matter of fact, if I go to, and I pull up, I think I have it in my email, I think I put that article in my email, That is, yes, look at right here, man. Let me just, that is the PM article, if you could give me that. Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar says a senior government senator was approached by 2 independent senators before the vote on the Zones of Special Operations, the ZOSO bill, on Tuesday. The bill failed in the Senate with 8 voting against the bill, while Senator Courtney McNeish abstained. Right? Now, in a public statement issued after the Senate vote, Persad Bissessar said she anticipated opposition from the president's appointed senators and claimed that attempts were made to trade support for personal favors. And she said those requests were refused, and that from that point, it became clear that the bill would fail. So she's saying that she's alleging here that 2 senators who sit on the independent bench approached a senior government senator. Well. So, I want to know, who's the 2? Call name now. Call name. Who is the 2? She went on to say, my government will not buy votes. Adding that those involved know who they are and must accept responsibility for their actions. All right? Now, she also went on to say here, and this is very interesting. She said that the proposed SOSO legislation was intended to limit and replace the use of a state of emergency, arguing that her administration was seeking to reduce rather than expand executive powers available to the state. She maintained that an SOE could have been declared instead, but that the government chose a legislative route to constrain those powers. She also criticized the Opposition People's National Movement and its supporters, accusing them of misunderstanding the implications of the bill and celebrated an outcome that she said weakened efforts to reform national security policy. And with that being said there, right? Because what she's clearly saying is, okay, we chose to go this legislative route to implement the zones of special operation, which would have actually given the police less powers than they have under the state of emergency, right? I think that is what she's trying to say there. And she said, you know, it's very simple. I could just hold out for 2 months or a month and then come back and declare a state of emergency. You understand? So the month of February could pass, Carnival could swing, you understand? And as soon as the end of February reached, you know, we could declare a state of emergency if we want, you know. It's very interesting, but I'll let Gary speak to those points when he gets on, all right? Now, there is something I have to mention here, and I know that the Prime Minister watches the program from time to time, and I hope that the Prime Minister is watching this morning, because I was approached by a gentleman last night. I was out on Tragrit Road. I just finished filming The Fifth Officials. And just before I got into my car, I decided to pass by the spot that Kyrie people now have, right there on Tragrit Road. Because one of the members spoke to me last week. They said, you know, there's Kyrie people now and ting, and whatever. And I said, no problem. I had to get 2 tickets for different now. So I was going swinging there. And I see full-blown in there doing the thing, chilling out and things, so pick up the full-blown crew. But as I reached there, and I went for 2 tickets at different, right? I was approached by a gentleman who was liming there. He's taking out a lime there, and he approached me. And it's just so coincidental that I spoke about it yesterday morning, and this man approaches me last night. And he asked me, he says, Stefan, I watch your videos and I watch your show from time to time. I want you to, and I think you are somebody that could put this across to the government in a way that they would understand. And he said his vehicle was stolen, right? He bought a vehicle, a hybrid vehicle, and the vehicle was stolen about a few weeks after he bought it. They eventually recovered the vehicle 3 days later, but he couldn't do anything with the vehicle because they had stripped the dashboard and the battery and everything. And he said to me, and yesterday I spoke about when I was robbed of my vehicle. Now my situation was different because I didn't take a loan. You know what I mean? That was a vehicle that was granted to me by Mr. Monroe. And, you know, I had the use of the vehicle. I was driving the vehicle for like 5 years and things like that. The vehicle was in my care. So I didn't have a loan to pay, right? And it's when he started to talk to me, I say, you know, he has an excellent point. So what he's saying is that he don't mind the clamping down on the traffic fines and anything like that. He had no problem with that, because he could only get a ticket if he breaks the law. But what he is saying to me, and he would like me to relay to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and I will do so here, and I will probably send a message to those who I have contacts for and put it before them, is that they increase the penalties or bring some legislation that would allow some more severe punishment for for vehicle larceny, for people who steal vehicles. Because when you steal somebody's vehicle, the bank don't want to hear that the vehicle gets stolen, you know. They still have to pay that loan for something that they don't have. Right? And that punishment that has to be increased not just for the perpetrators, the people that actually steal the vehicle, but the chop shops that they just take it to. And I want them to investigate that entire stolen vehicle racket. That when my vehicle was stolen, right, there was a trail leading straight back to license office, as I recall. Right? I remember well that there was a bank account that was tracing to the prison canteen. And when the police told me, Pitt told me, he said, boy, don't go and pay no money, you know, because a man called me from in jail and tell me to pay a piece of money and he will give me information on my vehicle. And I tell Pitt, I say, boy, I don't know if the man telling the truth or not, but it's very interesting to me that he's sending a bank account for me to deposit the money. Let me see what that bank account lead to now. And Pitt telling me, boy, that's a scam. Don't go and pass it, Pitt. I done lost my car. $1,000 ain't gonna kill me. Right? And I went and I deposited the money in this account that the man sent. And but the man keep communicating with me back and forth. At the time, we didn't know where he calling from. And eventually, we traced the number back to the prison, right? But the account number that he gave me, when we traced it, it traced back to the prison canteen. And apparently, the prison canteen is where, like, if you want to send money for those who are arrested and, those who spending time in prison, you send it through the prison canteen or whatever the case might be, right? I think it's something like, but they shut that down within, as soon as they realized where it was going back to, the prisons and the police and them came and made it, and they shut down the prison canteen. I don't know if they've reopened that yet, but they had shut it down at the time. And I never said anything about it at the time. But they shut it down at the time. And then the investigation was leading in a way where it was going all the way back to license office. And I want them to investigate that. You understand? I want them to investigate that. But more so, I'm calling on the government. While you have increased the traffic fines to have people get their vehicle up to date, when a man spend money on his vehicle to get it up to date, and he out here on the road, he should also be comfortable with parking his vehicle. And if he go to church or to take a lime or to go to a fete as it's carnival time or to go to the grocery or whatever, people must be comfortable enough to know that their vehicle is safe. And because there are some bad feelings that you get in this world, and one of those feelings is walking out of a place that you're liming at or somewhere that you went, and then when you come out, you're not seeing your vehicle. It's gone. That is not a nice feeling. And you see the people that commit these acts, according to the gentleman who was talking to me last night, them fellas is killers. It's killers. You understand? A man put a gun to my head to take my car, you know. And then after he was taking the car, point the gun at me and say I should shoot and kill, I should kill you, you know. That's what the man tell me, you know, pointing the gun at me, you know. No, he ain't flinch or nothing like that. I stay cool like a cucumber. But that's me. The man asked me, he said, you was traumatized, boy. I said, not really. You understand? And I don't know, I really wasn't traumatized to say, you know what I mean? I had some restless nights because you feel after that like somebody go come in your house and that kind of thing. But that only lasts for a couple of days. You know what I mean? And I was back at it like normal. I had my old man to take care of, God rest his soul. And I remember the look on my father's face. If my father was able, he'd have hung them two fellas. I know I telling all you. My old man. Anyhow, them fellas dead and buried. But I want the government to consider that. Increasing some more severe consequences. As a matter of fact, I will go so far to say, off with their hands. You steal people's vehicle, you're putting people through stress, let me take your two hands from you now. We go take your right and your left. I telling you. It is sickening. Every day in this country, somebody does lose a vehicle. Every day. 2, 3, 4 vehicles are stolen. Every single day. Just last week, I sent a vehicle, the picture of a vehicle to Greenwich. A vehicle that was stolen up to week before or last weekend or something. So not this weekend here, the weekend before. And the person sent the picture for me and I sent it to Greenwich and they're looking into it. But every day, somebody's vehicle getting stolen in this country. People have to be spending money to put in GPS system and all kind of things. Just like how we just spend money to put a burglar proof for your house and all kind of thing, and these fellas still coming in your house to rob you. It's the same way people going through all kind of expense to make sure that the vehicle's secure and they could shut it down and this, that, and the other. You understand? So if we could get some stricter laws on that or some strict fines and jail time on that to kind of deter that industry, that would be much appreciated. So I point that out there to the government as I promised the guy that I would do this morning, right? So with that, we got to go to the first break and we'll get to Gary Griffith after the break. Before we go to the break though, I want to remind you that Seth Viola Board will return in March, but his holistic health clinic is still open and it's powered by nutritional therapy and it deals with reversing diseases rather than managing them. So it is drug-free, supplement-free, root cause healing through nutritional therapy. And to book an appointment, you can call or WhatsApp Seth on 279-3935 or 7611952. You can also call him on those numbers to order his book, You Are Not Sick, You Are Malnourished, or you can go to RIK bookstores nationwide or Amazon and order the book today. All right? It's a terrific read. Also, I want to remind you about the CFVS Learning Consultants, because every child deserves a chance to shine, and sometimes all they need is the right support behind them, and that's where CFVS Learning Consultants steps in. They work hand in hand with parents, helping children build confidence, stay motivated, and grow at their own pace. CFVS offers personalized learning plans, confidence building, and parent coaching, all designed to make learning clear, supportive, and enjoyable for your child. And because life is busy, their services are fully online, so your child can learn comfortably from home. They support students of all ages and ability levels, meeting every child right where they are. CFVS is committed to closing learning gaps and empowering every child to shine. And for more information, you can email cfvsservices@gmail.com or call 275-1603. With that, we take the first break. When we come back, Guy Griffith will be with us via Zoom. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
Last year, you had the time of your life. This year will be even more fantastic. Get your tickets now for Gone But Not Forgotten 2.
I feel like home.
They gave us the memory.
Woman, you could run away too.
They gave us the rhythms of life. Now let's give them their flowers.
Trinidad and Tobago, join us for a special tribute to our legendary musical icons who have passed on in Gone But Not Forgotten.
Including Funny, Swallow, Singing Francine, Shadow, Arrow, Maestro, Rootsman, Lax, Sandoli, Rash Shorty Eye, plus lots more. Their music still lives on in our heart. An unforgettable night as we celebrate their legacy in Gone But Not Forgotten. Wednesday, February 4th at Napa and Thursday, February 5th at Sapa. Showtime both nights, 6:30 p.m. Your master of ceremonies, Sonny Bling.
Tickets $300 and $250.
Early bird tickets bought by Monday, January 26th cost $50 less.
Available at Crosby's, Jumbo Foods Barataria, Mart's Liquor Palace, Digomate Main Road, all Kenny Sports, Western Union, Tuna Puna, all Extra Foods, Athletes by the Park, and IslandEatTickets.com. An extra $10 off for online purchases. For more info, call 732-3402. Gone, but not forgotten.
Is your life stuck in the same struggles again and again? Pandith Bhargav helps remove negative energy, solve love problems, fix marriage disputes, clear financial stress, and stabilize job and business issues. With accurate psychic, palm, and horoscope readings, he guides you toward the right path. His powerful 30-minute session brings quick relief and clear direction. Take the first step today. Call +1 868-347-2350.
If you want to be a better chef at home or advance your professional career, Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy is the best place to be. Some of the courses that we offer here at the Academy: Creative National Cuisine 1 and 2, Baking and Pastry 1 and 2, Kids Summer Cooking Classes, one-day classes at the workshop. We have Asian cooking classes and certificate in culinary arts, food lovers and professionals.
Start your culinary journey today with us at the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy.
Ostomy care is a unique and intimate condition that can seem challenging for individuals afflicted by it. At Better Life Ostomy Care, they understand and offer a wide range of products and services that will allow ostomates to lead a better life. From colostomy and urostomy pouches, paste and powders, antibacterial wipes, Brava strips, deodorants, gloves, gauze, bed liners, and much, much more. They also have RN care available for ostomy home care with affordable starter packages. No need to look for nurse or supply. Everything is just a phone call away. Better Life Ostomy Care is located at number 4 Mosque Street, Caroni. You can call them at 308-6709 or 472-5878 or visit their website at www.betterlifeostomycareTT.com to find out more about their offerings. You can also write to them at betterlifeostomycareTT@gmail.com or find them on Facebook. Better Life Ostomy Care, servicing ostomates with a better quality of life.
Why just manage disease when you can reverse it? At Setwaya's Holistic Health Clinic, we don't just mask symptoms, we focus on reversing illness naturally. Imagine freedom from medications and the cycle of dependence. Our approach dives deep into uncovering root causes without herbs, tonics, or medications. From diabetes and heart disease to mental health, obesity, and more, our personalized care is transforming lives. Ready to begin? Book your consultation today, either in our San Fernando office or online. Call or WhatsApp 279-3935 or 761-1952. Your health journey starts now at Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic, where transformation is within reach.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Are you living with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes? Manage it with the unique Jameson 100% complete multivitamin with 400 micrograms of chromium to lower blood glucose, lutein for your eyes, B vitamins for energy, vitamin C and lycopene for antioxidant support. Take a step towards a healthier tomorrow and make the proactive switch to Jameson today.
All right, people, so we are back on Breaking Dawn. It is about 6:32, and from now until 7 o'clock, we got former Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, with us. And we're going to bring him in via Zoom one time because we got a few things to go through well in our conversation this morning, both on the what I believe to be a lost opportunity with the zones of special operations, and the comments made by the Commissioner of Police on that controversial shooting that took place in St. Augustine after what it was alleged to be alleged. I just say alleged because I ain't see no footage of a 12-minute chase. So, we say good morning to Gary. Gary, morning to you, man.
Hi, good morning.
Nice, man. Good to see you when Manchester United is actually winning.
We have turned the corner. We turned the corner.
All right, man. So we want to get straight into it here. First off, I'll start with the ZOSO, the failed ZOSO legislation. And I just want your thoughts on that because you did serve as a Minister of National Security as well as a Commissioner of Police. So you would know the both sides of the coin in terms of an operation like that. Did we miss an opportunity here?
Yeah, but it's not just missing an opportunity. I am very concerned about the end result. It was a golden opportunity. And I think the concept of all of this, Stefan, it has to do with marketing. It has to do with communication. How ZOSO is, how you sell something is how the country is going to buy it. And this government has been bringing out brilliant policies, strategies, laws. But if it is not being sold properly, from a communicational perspective to the public, it allows those persons opposed to the government to come with points that will probably instill fear. It will give a negative approach about it. And with that, the government is not getting that buy-in, not because the ideas, the policies, the laws are not good, but how it is being sold. I mean, the zone of special operations, for example, I think there's not been one person, the person who is supposed to be piloting this would have been the minister. The Minister of Homeland Security is the only minister in security in the history of this country when bills are being piloted on security. He's not the one doing it. And I can understand that. But for God's sake, he cannot, not one thing he was able to come forward with. And I have been the main person pushing it. I was speaking about, first you have to look at history. We had ZOSO before with Patrick Manning. Patrick Manning had ZOSO, but he used it to lock up a little old lady in her house. That was a zone of special operation in Okasipo's house. We also had ZOSO done for the right reason, under the People's Partnership when I was Minister of National Security, without having to go to Parliament, when we were able to, and those are the things supposed to be done, show the positives, that when we did ZOSO in Laventille, for 3 months there was one homicide, I think, and that was a domestic violence matter. Every citizen in Laventille felt safe, they felt comfortable. You bring things like that to let them know, yes, I remember that, and it was, children felt good going to school, parents felt comfortable knowing that their loved ones can leave and come back home. Laventille felt safe because we had 150 police and soldiers 24 hours a day locking down the area, making people feel safe. Those are the things that should have been done. That zone of special operation would have also explained to the country when an SOE is removed and the gang leaders, the gang members, the lieutenants, the shooters, the drug dealers are now going to be released. There's going to be pushback and the country is going to be affected. So you need some kind of a cushion. The communication strategy should have also stated the ZOSO is just a watered down, diminished version of a SOE. It's the same laws, the same powers, the same authority, the same warrants being able to go into places without a warrant, arresting persons indefinitely. And for 14 months, you had the SOE without police abuse. So now you're having it done in a watered down version, and now you have a problem. Not one, the Minister of Homeland Security never said a thing about these things. And because of that, it caused those opposed to ZOSO to come and hit hard. And the country is going to pay the price. And a point on that as well is I think the main person who single-handedly destroyed the possibility of ZOSO coming through and being supported in the eyes of public opinion was the Commissioner of Police, based on the decisions and the actions he has made on the police service that have caused many persons. So I'm not here to criticize the independent senators or the activists and all of that who are against ZOSO, but many people are mortified by the actions being made by the police service, not because of the officers, by the hierarchy, but because of the hierarchy accepting certain things and trying to trivialize it. We have a Minister of Homeland Security who unbelievable. I mean, a real lady guy. I mean, I promoted him. I put him back on a show when all the senior officers wanted him out. I was able to send him in charge of SWAT. But the demand, how could you be a minister and say that I want to put out a law to demand that if people speak on social media about things based on facts, we should try to have them arrested? That is, I mean, you talking communism in the 1950s, this man is talking about. Yeah. How could you make a comment like that? And those are the type of things that have caused many persons to be skeptical and to say that something like Zoso, we did not want. And it is unfortunate, and I really hope the country can brace for what may take place. I would strongly recommend to the Prime Minister and to others, we can improvise, utilize Zoso similar to what I did in 2014, having the same operations, having a national security alert state, using the interagency task force as a system to have the same type of Zoso, because the army can come out in full force to support the police. It's part of their role and function. You don't need an SOE to bring out the army. The PNM for 10 years foolishly did not understand that. And if that is done, I think it can assist in trying to do what the government wants, because the only difference with the actual proclamation thing in Parliament would be you would not be able to arrest persons indefinitely and be able to enter premises without a warrant. That's the only difference. So I think the government, if you get lemon, you make lemonade. They have to show that we can still move forward and do what is required, even though those opposed to what was done, that should have been done, decided to reject it. We can still do what is required. That's why I was very pleased with DCP Benjamin's comment that regardless of what the police still intends to do what is required to ensure the safety and security of the country.
Right. You know, I saw it I just read it in an article there with the Prime Minister this morning, where she said, you know, that her administration was seeking to reduce rather than expand executive powers available to the state. Yeah. And unfortunately, that message didn't come out until after the bill failed. Because at no point in time was that, to me, prominent in the discussion that, hey, we're reducing the powers. Because the opposition was pushing, saying they're giving the police more powers. But now you're hearing, and you just said it would have been a watered-down version of a SOE. So
correct.
And this is the problem. It comes back to communication. It's like the traffic fines. I mean, had the communication been on point with the traffic fines, I don't think people would have been arguing. But they implemented the traffic fines. The place went mad. And then after the madness, the Prime Minister came out and said, look, over the last 5 years, 2020 to 2025, the police issued $600 million in traffic fines. And 400 and something million has been paid, 200 million probably being challenged in the courts. But this is why I can't reduce it. It's because $600 million in traffic fines is insane. It means we're breaking too many laws on the road. So I have to double it to try and deter people from breaking the law. Now, if that was said at the start, the backlash would have been way less when the fines were increased. So it's coming down to a matter of communication. And somebody said to me yesterday, they say, you know, whether you like Gary Griffith or not, Gary Griffith did two things well. He's the only commissioner of police that I could think about in recent times that was actually moving the police service in a forward direction. And two, the communication. There was constant communication with the public on matters of whether it was sensitive matters, controversial matters, whatever the case is. You have never been afraid to stand up in front of a mic or in front of the media and communicate. Whether it is the police or from a national security perspective standpoint, right? So that the public gets an understanding. Some people might like what you say, some people might not like what you say, but you've always been excellent at communicating. And I think that's the major thing that's lacking here. And that brings me to the Commissioner of Police now, with his communication skills, which is way better than earlier here with Christopher. I think we could all agree with that. Way better than the one Jacob before her. But there's this whole controversy here. You said that his decisions would have affected whether this Zoso bill was passed. and you're talking about decisions made by the hierarchy. Just give us a little bit of some of those decisions that may have played a role in that.
Yeah, sure. And that is my point. And again, what you just spoke about, these things should have been put forward. I've been the only person. I've been on 3 stations for every morning for the last 2 weeks, locally, regionally, internationally. And I explained that with Zoso. I said, listen, this is a watered down version of SOE. So for 14 months, you had 2 governments pushing a state of emergency, which meant that the police could raid any house at any time, break into any house, kick down a door without a warrant, arrest anybody indefinitely at any time, and you're okay with that. Now we put in a zone of special operation to mean that the only time they could do that is in a special, specific period, in a specific place, in a specific time, and now we have a problem with that. It makes absolutely no sense, and that is what should have been pushed. But you see what you speak about with communication, Stefan, the reason for my measured success as a minister and commissioner was because of that communication. The communication may not be something that people may have liked, but you have to be honest, you have to be accessible. And if it is you're not sure about what you want to say, it's best you don't say anything. And there is my concern with the Minister of Homeland Security, because he keeps saying things and it's not to be able to build public trust and confidence. His last comment after this, when he says he wants to have a law to arrest or to lock up people for freedom of speech if they have an opinion about something they see on social media, that is madness. No country in democracy in the world could see a man in charge of security stating that. And then the last comment he made before that was to go to the US to try to demand that visas would be revoked. He filed visas to be revoked of people who saying things negative about the government or the US. When you start making comments like that, it's best you do like other certain ministers realize, look, not everybody has the ability, the gift of gab to be able to speak. Some of them say, look, you see me, I'm saying very little. Devish Maharaj, I applaud him. Devish Maharaj is a very simple guy. He's doing his job in the Ministry of Justice, and he's being very careful what he says. So he says very little, but it's not to say he's not doing anything.
Right.
Roger Alexander loves the camera, but every time he opens his mouth, it becomes something that affects the government. So he has to be trained. Stop being emotional. You feel I could be a Minister of National Security and say, I'm going to think there's a new law we need to start passing in the future, so and so. Boy, Kamala would have roped me in and bust my throat. But who the hell are you to be able to make recommendations for bills without speaking to me as the Prime Minister? And Roger Alexander, and this is the problem, Roger and Guevara, I have no problem with them. I want to support them. I want them to succeed. Unfortunately, they do not want to communicate with me because of ego. Fine. But these are middle management officers. So this is like a clerk, somebody who's a clerk or a middle management person being promoted now to be the CEO of a company.
Right.
And because of that, they do not have the capability and the experience. But then be careful in what you say. And if you're not sure in what you say, don't say anything. The Guevara situation is a perfect example. I think that the unfortunate shooting of the couple, it was unfortunate whenever it happens. But this happened a few days before that bill that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
It's not because of what the police did, but how it was dealt with. Because these things, sometimes you're going to have situations like this. And I had a similar situation. It's not to say that every single time there's a police shooting, you must immediately remove the officer from active duty, which in fact is international best practice. But we're not into that, because we're in a volatile situation where a police officer could be shot at, some wrongs hit him in his chest, his vehicle is riddled, and he shoots back at the gang member or whatever. And you realize he's okay, you can put him out. In this situation, the court of public opinion have found the police service guilty. And whether it's right or wrong, that is how the country feels. And you have the audacity as a commissioner of police, I see nothing wrong with what they did, they could go back out onto the streets. Whilst being a hypocrite, you contradict yourself when you say, but I'm going to send counseling for them. If you agree that they need counseling, it means that there's a strong possibility there may be some degree of mental instability, some emotional concern that this individual has. So you're saying, so they could be mentally unstable. So I'm getting counseling for them, but I'm still giving them a gun to go out in the streets that could kill 35 people in 3 seconds. It shows his ignorance. He has never gone north of Shaka Shakari, east of Tobago to understand international best practice. It doesn't help when you have the Welfare Association foolishly supporting it as well. Putting these individuals, I had the same situation, and 17 officers immediately, that was the Mova shooting, same thing, immediately send them on administrative leave or suspension. After we did more research on the footage, we realized there were 4 persons involved in the shooting. We suspended those 4 or admit duty. This is not to say that they are guilty. It is to make sure the public will know, look, we're not sure what happened as yet. We're not saying they're guilty, but rest assured they don't have a firearm and they're not out on the streets at this time. And how it was dealt with, hearing the comments by Guerrero that, well, and hearing comments by other police officers, it is unbelievable that after I left, they have not developed themselves in understanding law enforcement. For a commissioner to say, well, you all didn't see what happened before the incident, so don't jump to conclusions. Guerrero, for God's sake, if these individuals had riddled 20 police officers through a hand grenade, and then 10 minutes later, you corner them and their hands are in the air, you cannot shoot at them based on what happened in the past. It has to be based on the exact moment, as unfortunate as it is for police officers. So you shoot at an officer, you kill an officer, and then we find you in a house and your hands are in the air. We cannot shoot you because of what you did in the past. So it's stupid commenters of you all only looking at what transpired in that time and not in the past. What happened in the past is irrelevant. All that matters is on the spur of the moment, the confrontation between the police and the suspects. If it is that you cannot use excessive force, you have to use equal force to be able to neutralize the person. If their hands are in the air and you are shooting at them, and then after there's a 10-second lull, and then they continue to shoot again, which shows their lack of training and understanding, minimum use of force, international best practice, armed conflict, and then your take on it is nothing was wrong with them, I'm sending them back out onto the streets. That made the average citizen realize this could happen to my wife, this could happen to my children, I don't want Zosu. The commissioner has done an excellent job, hatchet job, to destroy the possibility of Zosu being implemented.
Wow. Now, on that note of training, you mentioned training. The officers not you were commissioner of police. I asked yesterday. Well, I asked Sergeant Greenwich. I asked him. I said, do the police do simulation training? Does that exist in Trinidad and Tobago?
What was his answer?
I can't remember. I think he said yes to a point, but I really can't remember. I know he didn't say no. I think he said yes, there is a form of simulation training.
And all of that, Stephen, is what caused, when public confidence and trust went up to 59% in the police service, from 14% under Stephen Williams, and now it's 8%. It's not because of Gary Griffith, it's because of putting policies in place to make sure that their performance can be measured and they can be made accountable. There is a simulation theater, and that simulation theater, I made it mandatory that especially officers in the front line, the IATF, the GEB, SORT, as much as possible, these officers must go in that simulation theater. So the theater actually is a screen with video footage, and they have different scenarios. So they have the scenario, and sometimes we could have brought you, Stefan. So, and because I brought the media as well at times to understand what police officers go through, that split-second decision can be the cause of life and death. And I saw many officers being very hesitant because they were afraid that they were not going to be protected if they did the right thing. But in the same manner, you have to be very careful not to be trigger happy like what happened with those officers, and you treat a vehicle like a strainer while someone's hand is in the air. So, for example, you'll have this guy being very arrogant coming out, and you now have to, you're speaking and you say, I want you to put your hands in the air and just adhere to what I say. And the man says, see you, I fed up on you. And he puts his hand in his back pocket. And then I stop, and then immediately the officer draws his firearm and starts to shoot at the person. I stop. I say, you sure you did the right thing? Yeah, continue. He's now pulling out his cell phone to call his attorney. You have now killed the person. Those are the type of decisions an officer has to make, and it is very difficult. So when people come down and demonize the police, they don't know what. And in the same manner, if he holds back, wondering if it is a phone and it is a firearm, the officer could be dead. So it is a split-second time, and that is why we have the situation such as that simulation theater to train them. If they do not, it's not mandatory. You're going to have these 3 officers do that piece of madness that they did in that video footage, because it's not just what they did, it's how they did it. Because if there was someone with an automatic weapon in the backseat of that car, they would be dead, because they came out in the full open without cover from fire, without cover from view. It shows bad training.
Could have been children too.
Pardon?
Could have been children in the backseat.
Exactly. So all of those things, and then that is why I made it mandatory after 3 years trying to get that last clueless government to understand the importance of the body cameras. I got the funding. I made it a mandatory standard operational procedure. You must use the body camera. if you're on a patrol, an operation, a roadblock, you're issuing a warrant. This commissioner has refused to enforce the standard order. He has refused to enforce the departmental order in that standard operational procedure. And the answer, and I know why, because there have been a lot of the old police, just this minister says when it is that they refuse to purchase body cameras, he said that's not important. What's more important is armored vehicles, because that's his mindset, that the old school type of policing, and they don't understand 21st century predictive policing, intelligence-driven policing. The society demands accountability, which is why body cameras are worn on police officers on every operation and patrol you have in NYPD, Chicago, Boston, Detroit, LA. That is to ensure accountability. It took me a year to get officers to understand. They say, so you're trying to set us up. I said, no, I am giving you these body cameras to put on you, because many times that lady with the towel, remember, all you're too wicked. That always blatantly lie and set up police officers. The body camera is going to protect the all you're too wicked posse. Protect the police officers from the all you're too wicked posse. And so I started getting the officers to understand this is going to protect you. You go in an area where you alone and 5 persons around, and you shoot someone correctly, the other 4 are going to say you killed the man in cold blood. So that is the value of the body camera. And Guevara has refused to enforce that body camera standard operational procedure. Had he done that, had he put these officers on administrative leave immediately, I am confident that the country would have felt a little more relaxed and comfortable to accept Zoso.
Let me ask you something now. We have about 7 more minutes. All right. This conversation and this talk that people have, John Public. Well, they need to, I have heard this, they need to fix the police service first because it had too much corruption in police service. Now, I believe you could chew gum and walk at the same time, right? And I don't think that you have to, you can't stop to fix this issue with the police service for a minority of officers. You would know it's a minority of officers and that the majority are hard-working police officers because you were there. You can't stop to fix that and then say, all right, we go deal with gangs and we'll deal with crimes and crime. But outside of that and the issues with the police service, would giving the Police Complaints Authority more teeth, like powers to arrest, would that somehow create more confidence in the public with the entire system that exists and corruption within the police service and things like that?
Definitely. And this is where my view and Roger Alexander will be totally opposed to each other on this. That's the last thing he will want. Based on the fact that even there are certain people who actually had reports in the Police Complaint Authority of extrajudicial killing. And my take on it is how I operated as a minister and as a commissioner. Every month I met with the PCA, hearing everything they had to say. They started being so bold. They said, we want to be on the crime scene. I said, okay. They wanted to be able to interview the victim, the suspect immediately. I said, okay. Not every commissioner does that. Right now, the PCA before and after me have been totally sidelined by the police. To this point, in this incident as well, because I know police officers, they came to me and they said, sir, do you know that this lady has been shot and she's being guarded by the police and they've refused for the PCA to meet with her? That is madness. And there's nothing that the police could do to defend it because that is fact. Because the senior officers have told me, they said they are disappointed that the police is still in this. I remember with you, PCA could have the immediate access to the victim or to the suspect. They have prevented the PCA from meeting with the lady after over 4 days now. That must be a cause for concern. So what is required is that the PCA, all that they do is extract the information, and they cannot get it because the police will prevent themselves from communicating. So the PCA will come to my office personally once or twice a month. We have a concern about this. We have to get in this file. This officer in Sawa branch not providing this for us. And they will be, as soon as they give me approved, I will have my admin officer giving them everything they want. Because I know the importance of the PCA. Other officers were upset by what I was doing, but that is where you need the checks and balances to make the officers accountable. Right. What is required now is the PCA law. I will really hope that the AG will consider this. The Minister of Homeland Security will not. That the PCA must now get the same powers equivalent to that of the Internal Affairs in the United States, where there are police officers assigned to the PCA who have the full powers of arrest and the full powers to extract information and data at any time, because the PCA has no police officers in there. So when they go to a crime scene, they get chased like a dog. When they go to meet a suspect or victim, they get chased. They ask for a file, they're going to put it on hold, they will ignore them. I got about 200 different reports from the PCA on day one in August the 17th as Commissioner of Police 2018, because it was being ignored by commissioners. They don't like them, they don't want to see them because they see them as a burden. The PCA is a critical element that can improve the public trust and confidence in the public. So when I started doing that, bam, from 14% up to 59%. And it is not just the PCA, it was not just the body cameras, it was also communication systems. We're going back to communication. We're going to end as we started, Stefan. We had the 482 Gary, we had the online reporting, we had the police app, which meant that anytime you had a police officer get on like a fool in a roadblock, try to embarrass a young lady or try to abuse his authority, next morning, you're up on the sixth floor with a line waiting to see the commissioner personally. And I'm not going to school you, I'm going to guide you, educate you. So by them knowing that there were checks and balances, whether it be body cameras, whether it's 482 Gary, you're calling the commissioner directly, online reporting, police app, every officer knew out there, I have to do what is required. I have a very close relative. An assault weapon was pointed to his head in Maracas by a police officer. And 4 witnesses were there. They gave the statement in Santa Cruz Station. And 2 years later, it's still being investigated. So if they could do that to someone that is a relative of mine, very close, imagine what they'll do. And the officers know that. And this officer is still in Maracas Station, patrolling Maracas, doing this, having the same arrogant attitude.
Wow.
Immediately, that is our officer. Not say to fire, but he needs to go on desk duty. When you don't do that, public trust and confidence will be lost. And because of that, ZOSO, I think we lost a golden opportunity for a zone of special operation that could secure citizens because of senior officers in the police service not understanding the importance of accountability of police officers.
And just finally here, okay, in your, because I don't think people know that, I mean, some people might know, some people might have forgotten, but you're also a criminologist as well. I mean, you're well in tune with criminology and crime and things like that, right? And strategy. So, where does the government and the police service go from here? What ought to be their next step in terms of the fight against crime? Because the SOE will end Saturday, I believe. Yeah. And we don't want all hell to break loose, because we still see that crimes are still being committed. There are crimes that are still being committed even under the state of emergency. But when it is over, what should be the strategy?
Well, firstly, I think the Police Service Commission, they need to be revamped. You can't have a Police Service Commission selecting a commissioner based on individuals who have absolutely no training, qualification, or knowledge in law enforcement. Because when you could keep picking up Ula Christophers and so forth. As it pertains to immediately, the government needs to find some strategy to focus on having zones of special operations without having to go to Parliament, bypass the need for the independent senators' vote. We need a ZOSO because of the failure of this present commissioner to implement one new policy unit technology. You don't need ZOSO as SOE if you have a commissioner or a minister that comes up with different innovative ideas. That's why in 2013 to 2015 there was no SOE, and it was just almost the same amount of murders as we had last year with a SOE. We didn't need a SOE to lock up people and search places without a warrant in 2020, yet we had less than 350 murders in that year period from August 2020 to August 2021, because we had emergency response patrol, community comfort patrol, rapid response unit, special operation response team, social media unit, body cameras, tasers, pepper spray, the operational command center. When you keep pumping policies, units, technology, you don't need the SOE and ZOSO. This commissioner, again, he was middle management. So for a year, he has not come up with one new thing other than to let the country know we cannot go in an operation in this one because mosquito will bite we. So that is where we have reached. And in that regard, the government has to take front, which is why I agree that the government had to call the SOE. Without that SOE, we would have gone to 600 murders, 300 lives odd were probably saved. They have to go to ZOSO because without the SOE and in the absence of the commissioner or the Homeland Security Minister, you listened to the minister last night, the man said, we have a plan B. But the plan B is a secret plan, and we can't tell you the plan because we will spoil the surprise. I have criminologists and commissioners around the world wondering, Gary, are you serious? That is so for a whole year, you can't say one new unit, one new system, one new technology, but we have a plan B. And the plan B is a secret plan, but it's a surprise. We can't tell you because all you spoil the surprise. My God, that can't instill public confidence in the public.
You really said that. You really said that.
Yeah, he really said, and that is, and it's sometimes it's best he just says little if he's not sure what he wants to say. And that's what Wayne Serge, that's what he speaks a little. Same with Devish Maharaj. So same my grandmother used to say, let people shut up and so that people can like you. And he needs to do that because every time he opens his mouth, he gets the government in trouble. Yeah. So with us, I think we need this also. And let me quickly add, that is important not just to reduce crime. We have forgotten the Venezuela situation. If Venezuela turns to some degree of civil war, we're going to get 250,000 Venezuelans leaving that mainland and hitting our southwestern peninsula. Coast Guard should be part of ZOSO, having a proper security lockdown, soldiers, sailors in that southwestern peninsula being prepared. If 200,000 land here, it's going to affect our economy, our health, our education, our security. That is the importance of ZOSO. So hopefully we can have some degree of a zone of special operation without the need for parliamentary approval. I think that is the immediate mission.
Okay. And well, I know I'll tell you that was the last thing, but just real quick here, you were talking about, well, as you're talking about what the Homeland Security Minister said outside the Parliament, he also said, I heard him say in that same video, he said people ask about body cameras, but if the police had on body cameras, would you have seen the footage? And he said, of course not, because evidence.
Well, boy. I couldn't believe what I heard that. That is, there's a movie that actually took place in Miami recently, showing the problems that have taken place with, and this lady was a white woman, and the police used the body camera showing all the time she kept reporting Afro-Americans around the area.
Right.
And they did a whole movie about it. And the body cameras were used to show how she was acting, how she was operating, and then she shot and killed a young Afro-American child. And she was trying to justify it based on stand your ground legislation. She said because she thought she was worried. The police used the body camera to make a movie. So again, Roger Alexander has never gone have a boat. I'll send him at least down the islands because I don't think he's left Trinidad mainland to understand international best practice. If I am a commissioner of police and my officers have body cameras to show that this person in the back of the vehicle pointed a gun, I am going to use that body camera footage to ensure public trust and confidence. The audacity to say, well, we can't use it because it will be part of the evidence. That is not true. I heard you had someone yesterday say everything with the police, not to be able to be accessible and to be honest, is to say, well, the matter is under investigation. The investigations are pending. There are many times you will show that video footage to show to the country, hey, the matter is still being investigated. This is what we have. We're not casting guilt on the persons. But just for you all to know, there's nothing wrong with that. So for him to say, well, if they put on the body cameras, they will, if you got body cameras, well, then we can't show it because it will be evidence. Yeah. No, that is not true. And it shows he is middle management. He does not understand. So that is totally untrue. Body cameras can immediately put the whole country to rest to know that this woman had a bazooka and she was pointing it at the police officers. So don't say the body cameras cannot be used. It can very well be used. It does not affect the investigation, but what it does, it builds trust in the public to know that, all right, it's not exactly what we saw because we saw it from one angle and not the other.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen that. I've seen where body camera footage has been used to do exactly what you just described here. Just recently in Minneapolis with the shooting with the ICE agent and
exactly. But I think I will trip up and get cable TV for Roger Alexander as well. I mean, all you have to do is watch television and see what he's saying is totally untrue. But it's always, he has a serious concern about body cameras. I realize that with this minister. He is very, very concerned. And this commissioner as well. As I said, I got 1,200 body cameras. They are there. You don't need 7,000 because less than 800 police officers are on active duty at any one time. So what you do, you sign for it, you use it, you return it, and then we had a team that will be able to monitor to make sure that you actually utilize it. That happened in my last 3 months as commissioner. But the standing orders were there. But McDonald, Jacob, Euler, and Guevara, whether it's based on instructions by politicians before, or whether it's based on just ego or ignorance, shut down everything Gary Griffith did. It's not a Gary Griffith body camera. It's not a Gary Griffith special operation response team. It's not a Gary Griffith live. We had live cameras on the vehicles as well, showing live feed in real time that will be fed back to an operational center to assist the police and to be able to protect the police if wrongfully accused. They pulled out those cameras as well. You all will recall the cameras were on top of the vehicles.
Yeah.
They removed the emergency response patrol, the community comfort patrol, the special operational response team, the operational command center, body cameras, tasers, pepper spray, social media monitoring unit, police app, online reporting, everything they've shut down. And now we are back to the Stephen Williams era.
Wow. All right, well, Gary, it was a pleasure as usual. And, we're going to chat again soon because I'm sure the government will have to move forward with some strategy. And when they decide what that strategy is, we'll get your thoughts on that. All right? So take it easy, man. And well, I don't know if Manchester United will win over the weekend, but, nevertheless.
If Manchester United wins, everybody wins.
Aye, take it easy. Enjoy the weekend, man. Oh, God, Manchester United overtake me and they're in fourth right now. I think they're 2 points clear, Liverpool in fourth. Fighting up for that fourth place. All right, so that was former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith, former National Security Minister. I think he said a lot there. And I think he's right in a lot of instances there. In almost everything that he said, because communication, I think, is a major, major problem. Communication. I've been saying it for the longest while now, for months upon months now. The government needs to up their game on their communication. The way that things are communicated is how the public is going to either buy it or reject it. Accept or reject. So they got to work on that. But I think I agree with him. I think we have missed a serious opportunity here to keep the pressure on the criminal elements and bring a lot of safety and comfort to a lot of communities that would have been in those zones of special operations. So we will see what the government comes up with. The Prime Minister appears to have some sort of alternative solution. I remember she did say that the SOE is not their crime strategy. They have other crime strategies. We waited to see them. The Minister of Homeland Security, of course, made some comments there yesterday that, I and all had to raise my eyebrow. And, I have nothing against him. He's a fellow I like too, just like Guy Griffith just said in the interview. He's a fellow I like. I promoted him, I think, whatever. But, he made some statements here that really make you raise your eyebrow. But we got to take a break. We're already in the second hour. We're about 9 minutes into the second hour. We're going to come back. We're going to open the phone line. We're going to take some calls. But before we head to the phone line, let me just remind you guys about Jameson. We want to remind you to boost your immune system with Jameson immunity products to fight off the seasonal sniffles, such as their Cool Fighter with Echinacea, Vitamin C Chews with the honey lemon flavor. And for additional support, you can try their delicious Vitamin D3 Chews and Ultra Strength Zinc. Chew, fight, and feel amazing with Jameson trusted vitamins and minerals. And of course, Chef Shiraz has his courses. The 31st of January, which is this Saturday, the Creative International Cuisine and the Baking and Pastry 1 will take place. And of course, in February, as the City and Guilds Diploma 3. So you can register now by calling him on 3724-639 or 737-5097. Please call if you have not called already. All right, and with that, we're going to take the break. When we come back from the break, we will get to some phone calls, and then we'll get to a couple other things that we will highlight this morning. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
This week, Classic Russo continues. On Wednesday, 28th January, Classic Russo is back at home, City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain, with Ladies' Night. 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. On Thursday, 29th, it's not because you retire. It's Retirees Night with a special retirees price of $125. Both shows 8 p.m. And on Friday, 30th January, we're at the Coco Shed La Brea from 7 p.m. featuring our star-studded cast. All-round Founder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Twiggy, Dr. Wilby, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco offices, New City Mall, and Fowler Bray at the Cocoa Shed till showtime. Classic Russo for Classic Kaisu.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78 Bamboo Settlement number 2 Valsain between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
Tired of the daily school run? Say hello to Open Minds Education, your 100% online school built for life in the Caribbean. From preschool to secondary, they've got your child covered. Anytime, anywhere, no traffic, no textbooks, no hidden fees. Just smart, flexible learning with real teachers who care. It takes a village to raise a child, and Open Minds, they are that village. Learn today, lead tomorrow. Call or WhatsApp 868-388-6635 or visit openminds.education to register.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Leisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Leisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Leisha Limited, quality you can trust.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Are you living with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes? Manage it with the unique Jameson 100% complete multivitamin with 400 micrograms of chromium to lower blood glucose, lutein for your eyes, B vitamins for energy, vitamin C and lycopene for antioxidant support. Take a step towards a healthier tomorrow and make the proactive switch to Jameson today.
All right, so we are back 60 minutes past the hour, 7 o'clock. Before we get to the next order of business, we haven't been able to take some calls this morning just yet, so we will do so now. 327-7400. Let me take your calls and find out what you think about what is going on. You just heard from Guy Griffith a little while ago. And of course, the Prime Minister is saying that 2 independent senators approached a senior government senator for inducements in order to vote along the lines of, in order to vote for these also. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning, what's up?
Because I'm not sorry, Stefan, remember I telling you earlier that office too big for the Homeland Security Minister. And intelligent, that office is an intelligent officer.
We're talking about the
security office is an intelligent officer.
All right.
They don't need the requirement to hold that office. It's better let somebody who have the requirement run that office. And
all right.
It's a shame on the police commissioner for that kind of statement he made towards the public concerning them police and them, because I think the public and them no confidence in the police, and the public need to have confidence in the police right now, because there's a lot of things going on and the people and them want confidence, they want accountability. You understand what I'm saying? So this thing is a common sense thing. This thing is intelligent and common sense. And if they do exercise both of them, then it's better than people and them who are requirement take charge. This is my contribution this morning. Cosa Nostra.
Cosa Nostra, man. Yeah, man. All right, cool, man. Yeah, that's the Cosa Nostra on the inside. Let's see what's going on here. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, man.
I like he could talk like that. He was under 2 ministers of national security, Scribner and they are lawyers and they could talk. And he will talk about Bratton and Giuliani and Richard Center and all that thing.
You're coming and going, eh? You're coming and going. 1 minute I hear and you're clear, and then the next minute you're fading.
Check Reverend Alexander performance. Compared to Gary Griffith in the 9 months at Reverend Alexander, performance beats all any time. Talk about the nice talk and everything and done. As far as the situation is concerned, it doesn't prevent the government from building up the communities, it doesn't prevent joint patrol, it doesn't prevent nothing to be done. All it does, it doesn't give them the authority how to get involved in what would have to do. So it continues. As far as the invasion that Gary is talking about, the Prime Minister said that the still pardon the university can do that. So, I think that's nonsense. Let me give you the brighter side. We continue and we'll find solutions.
Okay.
How about
Yeah. He was going and coming, so I really didn't hear him clearly. Hello, good morning.
Yes, I hope you're hearing me better.
Yeah, I hear you clear. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Something I wanted to say. I was listening to you this morning. Do you know if you cut off somebody's thumb, they cannot hold a gun to pull a trigger?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can't do anything. There is very little you can do without a thumb.
Very little, yeah. And one of them is you can't pull a gun and pull a trigger. So, yeah, you cannot do that. So, I was listening to you talking about when they stole your car and whatnot, and they should have laws. I have been saying that for years. When you murder somebody, chop off their neck. When you rape,
oh God.
Well, I wouldn't say adults. So you see children, you see when you rape children,
yeah.
You know what you have to cut off. And because rape is a hard thing to prove. You
Yeah.
know? And when you're thieving, chop off people's hand. What is the problem? If you know you want to keep your hand, you wouldn't thief, right?
Correct.
If you know you want to keep your head on your shoulders, you wouldn't go and murder nobody.
Exactly.
To use the Shalry law. What is wrong with Shalry law? I don't know what's wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with it. You have to use an eye for an eye. I believe in that.
Okay.
And you see Rodrigo Duterte, he was my hero. He was my hero. And that is what you want. You want people with a strong arm You don't want a weakling to run nowhere. You want people with a strong arm to hold the bull by the horns. And
Okay.
that is what we want here now. We can't continue like this. Okay, goodbye.
All right, yeah, no problem. I am interested to see where the government will what the next step that the government will make as it relates to crime. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I want to say that to some extent I disagree largely with what Gary Griffith said, and I'll tell you why. If the police service primary purpose is to appease the anxiety in the public every time something go public, then it means you're not treating the police officer fairly, because a good argument could be made that you're not treating the police officer fairly because your primary function is to appease the anxiety in the public. Put information out there that really should be kept as evidence, and that sort of thing. I think you could gather what I'm saying from that.
Well, I think.
And then two.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service have every reason, the same way the public making it a reason not to have confidence in the TTPS, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service have every reason not to have confidence in the PCA. Because let me remind you, David West, the man in charge of the PCA, while investigating matters, referred to the TTPS as one of the largest gang in the country, and he had to apologize for that. There was an instance when a police officer was filmed on a crime scene. And David West was on the news accusing the police officer of picking up a shell and removing it. And Mark Bassan did some investigative journalism and zoom in on what the police officer was picking up and putting in his pocket. And it turned out to be the police officer's earpiece. He had an earpiece for his phone. So the police service is quite aware that it is likely David West presents himself as though he's not prepared to be fair when investigating the police service. So I don't blame the police service for not wanting the PCA to be involved in their matters. I'll listen off it.
All right, no problem. I think there are certain crimes and certain types of evidence that we could say would be highly sensitive that ought not to be in the public space. And then there is evidence that can clear or bring some sort of clarity to a situation that would restore confidence in the police when they take action in certain instances. Hello, good morning. And I think that's along the lines of where Gary was talking. Yeah, morning, go ahead.
Right, I just want to point out something in relation to how Trinidad and Tobago and how we deal with our laws. Basically, I find it very strange that after so much
Yeah, I'm not hearing you clear, caller. Caller. Hold on, caller. Hello?
Calling on.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you clear. You're on speakerphone or you're talking on with the earpiece? With the phone to your ear? If you're on speakerphone, let's come off a speaker, let me see. If you're on speaker.
Yes, I come off a speaker now.
Now I hear you perfect. Go ahead.
All right, yes. Something that I've been advocating for in different arenas. Why don't we have a modus operandi or understanding as how the public is supposed to deal when they are being interacting with police and that kind of thing? It's something that is strange to me. Why do we feel that if police behind me, you could run? Right?
Right.
In this case, I am very particular because, all right, here is somebody driving away from police trying to avoid getting caught. But they are actually taking the modus they are using, which is the vehicle, into a crime because they are driving very carelessly.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, I think all of that is because people don't understand how they're supposed to react or how they're supposed to interact with police.
With the police?
Right?
Okay.
Yes, and I think it's something that we need to look into.
Okay, no problem. The public's knowledge in terms of compliance upon being given a request upon the police giving you or requesting you to do something, the way that you're supposed to comply, and the public knowledge in terms of how these interactions supposed to go. That could be something that we could take a look at. Hello, good morning.
Pleasant good morning, sir.
Morning, man. Go ahead.
Alright, so plenty people say Gary used to talk too much, right? But in reality, I prefer he talk because when I don't talk, people start to get confused, people start to get conflicted and say that the government hiding something. You understand?
Right.
But now that he's talking, when people talking now, they have a problem with that. When people in talk, they still have a problem with that. So what are you supposed to really do?
That's a good question, because listen, at the end of the day, there are just some things that you just can't please John public. And policing is one of those things. It's a lose-lose situation.
All right.
But I always believe communication is key.
That's why it is communication.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, man. I don't think it's about talking too much or talking too little. I think communication is key in anything that you're doing. As an employer, you have to be able to communicate things to your employees. So maybe the company might be going through a little stress, a tough period. An employer ought to be able to express or communicate with their employees, because you might not want to let go any of your employees, but you have to let them understand, or they must understand that, listen, this is where the company is at, and this is what we have to do if we have to recover, to reach a point of profitability where we could all move forward and things like that now, right? And so that you have job security and things like that. Sometimes if you don't explain things, if even communications like that from employer to employee, if you don't explain things to the employee and put them and bring them in the loop with what's going on with the operation of the day, it leads to confusion and chaos when you make certain decisions. You understand? And that's where, and that's just one example, but there are other examples. The way that the government communicates to John public on certain things that they have to do, I think they have terrific policies. I think they're headed in the right direction, but you have to communicate things with the public because you have something called the opposition that can stir up confusion very easily, right? Narratives are created, turned and twisted very easily. So you have to have your communication. It has to be strong, it has to be powerful, it has to be spot on, and timing is everything with communication. Hello, good morning. Go ahead.
Morning, Stefan. Stefan?
Yeah, man.
Is some of them rapid response unit, them vehicles, them have a camera on top?
But that's what Gary said. They had cameras on top. They removed them. I think that would have been under Hines.
Why would they remove them? Because that is what they had on top of some of them rapid response.
But that's what he just said.
Vehicle.
That's what he just said. In his time, they put these cameras, these live cameras, so you could get things in real time, was going back to the command center, so that if the police, like a high-speed chase, the police claimed that they were in a high-speed chase with this vehicle for 12 minutes, we would have had footage of the chase.
Yes, so true. And
I mentioned dash cams yesterday.
My friend who say about chopping off the finger, yeah, that's a nice law, but and all I note, why if they bring on that law, why plenty politicians go walk like a digital watch boy, no hand. Have a blessed day, Stefan.
I'd man of oh God, Father. Hey, let me take this one before I go to a break. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Stefan, morning.
Yes, I.
Yeah, now the problem with Gary Griffith is she was trying to put first world thinking into third world brains.
Yeah, well, I forgot to ask him. You see, let me tell you something, eh? Dwayne Gibbs. You remember Dwayne Gibbs?
Yeah, I remember that.
And 21st Century Policing?
Yep.
Dwayne Gibbs and they came. And they tried to, and I forget to ask Gary about this, because Gary would have been around in Gibbs and them time when they were here. And they were trying to implement the 21st Century Policing. And Gibbs and them went and spent some money, and I think he spent like $100,000 or some kind of thing so and it had one big hullabaloo about the amount of money he was spending, and this, that, and the other. And when they check it out, it was a drone. I think it was a drone that he had spent the money on, and this drone would have been able to gather information, and you understand what I'm saying? Things like that now. It was technology-driven, 21st century policing, where they were setting up this grid at police stations so they could see where each police vehicle was at any given point in time and things like that. They run that man out of here. Had Dwayne Gibbs been allowed to implement 21st century policing, the police service would have been way better off and further ahead in terms of crime fighting than it is today. And like I said, whether you like Gary or don't like Gary, the only other commissioner of police that we have had with a forward-thinking, future-thinking, technology-driven approach to policing is Gary Griffith. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because what about Dwayne Gibbs wanted to implement, like he says, a police will come out and patrol for his shift. So in the event of an emergency, instead of having to leave the station, jump in a vehicle and go on a scene, they're already more or less within the vicinity and they're mobile. So they will be able to reach the scene faster.
Faster, yeah. You know?
Right, but I understand where Gary coming from, but he get too much of a fight on and like GPS and police vehicles. If a vehicle assigned to Northern Division, if it end up in Southern Division without permission, they have to come down and answer what it belongs south.
Right.
But to fight on the man, Fitzgerald Hines and them shut down everything the man implement.
Right. Yeah.
And when he told the former about giving contracts to community leaders.
Yeah, all of that too. Well, I know he's mentioned those things in the past. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole and talk about things that you know we know are obvious. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but we need somebody with the level of thinking like Gary to push the service forward.
Well, I don't know if that's going to be possible. I don't know if that time has passed, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah, cool. All right. So I'll tell you what. We're going to take a little break. And when we come back, boy, Anil Roberts was on fire in the Senate, boy. He put one of the independent senators in place, one of the younger senators, because, they didn't know. They're running to a brick wall. And Anil didn't hold back, right? And I like to see his contributions in the Senate, because to me, they can't debate with him at all. But before we go to that, I was talking about vehicles and vehicle larceny and more, higher penalties to that. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is the government has put in place that $10,000 fine for driving without insurance. And I'll tell you something, we have a situation here where one of our vehicles was hit, right? And the person that hit the vehicle, and I totally forgot to mention this, presented a certificate, a fake certificate, right, of insurance. So there are no insurance. The company, when you call the insurance company, they said that is not valid. They have no insurance. And there's some people like Advocate and them now that like to talk, and they know what they're talking about. Remember when he called in and he said, when you get an accident, who's... Yeah? All right. So the vehicle is of a particular age, so it's third-party insurance. It's $50,000 worth of damage to the vehicle. And the vehicle has been parked up. For how long the vehicle parked up for, fellas? About 3 weeks now? A month? 3 weeks time on the vehicle park up. Because you know why? You don't have $50,000 to fix the vehicle. The man have no insurance. Your insurance company won't fix it because it's third party. Third party insurance. You understand? When you try to get it, you can't get it fully comprehensive because of the age of the vehicle. So you get third party insurance. You understand? But that is somebody, and this person just go on about the business, you know, because apparently they're not from here. They're not from here, and they were driving a vehicle with a fake insurance certificate, right? So now, the person gone about the business, we can't find them, because they wasn't from Trinidad, or something to that effect, I think it was. The boss had to remind me about that, but I think I gained the information correct. And the insurance company said that certificate is not valid. So now we have a vehicle parked up there that we can't do nothing with. Until they get $50,000 to fix it. Brilliant, eh? Yeah. So when a man get help, when they hold people without insurance and they get a $10,000 fine, you look for that. You dig? Because when you do things like that and people on third party insurance and they can't pay, they can't fix the vehicle because they don't have any money to fix the vehicle, it's a great inconvenience. Just as it is an inconvenience to somebody whose vehicle is stolen. And they still have to pay a loan and probably rent a vehicle in the interim. Before they could secure another loan to purchase a new vehicle, they had to rent a vehicle in the interim because they might have the children and things to drop off to school and this, that, and the other. So I just wanted to make that point too on the insurance policy issue, and that we have a vehicle. We have a vehicle, park up for about a month now, can't do nothing. $50,000 in damage. Hit by somebody without insurance. Brilliant, eh? Yeah, boy. Trinidad, nice, boy. 21 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. When we come back, a little bit of Arnold Roberts and Chuta. I want to know what rubbish you're talking. Stay tuned.
Ostomy care is a unique and intimate condition that can seem challenging for individuals afflicted by it. At Better Life Ostomy Care, they understand and offer a wide range of products and services that will allow ostomates to lead a better life. From colostomy and urostomy pouches, paste and powders, antibacterial wipes, Brava strips, deodorants, gloves, gauze, bed liners, and much, much more. They also have RN care available for ostomy home care with affordable starter packages. No need to look for nurse or supply, everything is just a phone call away. Better Life Ostomy Care is located at number 4 Mosque Street, Caroni. You can call them at 308-6709 or 472-5878 or visit their website at www.betterlifeostomycareTT.com to find out more about their offerings. You can also write to them at betterlifeostomycarettt@gmail.com or find them on Facebook. Better Life Ostomy Care, servicing ostomates with a better quality of life.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
Tired of the daily school run? Say hello to Open Minds Education, your 100% online school built for life in the Caribbean. From preschool to secondary, they've got your child covered. Anytime, anywhere, no traffic, no textbooks, no hidden fees. Just smart, flexible learning with real teachers who care. It takes a village to raise a child, and Open Minds, they are that village. Learn today, lead tomorrow. Call or WhatsApp 868-388-6635 or visit openminds.education to register.
Is your life stuck in the same struggles again and again? Pandith Bhargav helps remove negative energy, solve love problems, fix marriage disputes, clear financial stress, and stabilize job and business issues. With accurate psychic, palm, and horoscope readings, he guides you toward the right path. His powerful 30-minute session brings quick relief and clear direction. Take the first step today. Call +1 868-347-2350.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsayn, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Last year, you had the time of your life. This year will be even more fantastic. Get your tickets now for Gone But Not Forgotten 2.
I feel like home.
They gave us the memory.
Woman, you could run away too.
They gave us the rhythms of life. Now let's give them their flowers.
Trinidad and Tobago, join us for a special tribute to our legendary musical icons who have passed on in Gone But Not Forgotten.
Including Funny, Swallow, Singing Francine, Shadow, Arrow, Maestro, Rootsman, Blacks, Sandoli, Ras Shorty Eye, plus lots more. Their music still lives on in our heart. An unforgettable night as we celebrate their legacy in Gone But Not Forgotten. Wednesday, February 4th at Napa and Thursday, February 5th at Sapa. Showtime both nights, 6:30 p.m. Your master of ceremonies, Sonny Bling.
Tickets $300 and $250.
Early bird tickets bought by Monday, January 26th cost $50 less.
Available at Crosby's, Jumbo Foods Barataria, Mart's Liquor Palace, Diego Martin Main Road, all Kenny Sports, Western Union, Tuna Buna, all Extra Foods, Athletes by the Park, and IslandEtickets.com. An extra $10 off for online purchases. For more info, call 732-3402. Gone, but not forgotten.
All right, so we're back. 14 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. Well, of course, during the debate, there are highlights. And I ain't lying, boy. I just look out for Anil Roberts' part of the contribution in the David Naked gave an excellent contribution as well, but I just like how Anil is handling, boy. I ain't lying. Let me get the Anil Roberts clip now. Yeah.
I now get into some of the contributions from before. The Honorable Senator Candace Jones Simmons. It's the first time in my life, Honorable Senator, that someone has told me to my face what I am listening to and what I am not hearing. I did not know that. But let me say that I listen to everything, every word and every point. And it's a bit disingenuous for you to tell me what I'm listening to and I'm not. You do not know. You cannot know. So I assure you that I listen to everybody's contribution. They were from, I don't know, I didn't want to say that part, but I would say it because I'm in a good mood. Maybe the Honorable Senator knows what I am listening to while I'm sitting here quietly listening, because maybe she spent too much time in Tobago in a red jersey. Maybe it is that, I do not know. Now, 48 out of 64 years, the Honorable Senator said that we should talk about...
Mr. President, Standing Order 46-6. That is a clear imputation of an improper motive.
Overrule, continue, please. I don't know, they feel like they disturb me. You must know who debated, you could get up and down like Jack in the Box whole day, do squats, maybe he didn't go in the gym. But you have a time to talk after. But I would also say to the Honorable Senator, you talked about zones of opportunities. But you see, life doesn't begin when a PNM president appoints a president senator and you come here. Life begins when you take interest in what exists. Because if you know about opportunities, you would know that that government, that PNM government, between September 2015 and April 2025, you want to know what opportunities they cut? Let me help you. The PNM cut sport funding from the NPI vote from 140 million down to 10 million. That's less opportunity. They cut Football Pro League, less opportunity, from 18 million down to 3 million annually, less opportunity. National Super League, they cut all the funding for the youths and them to play the football, less opportunity. They cut PAN in schools. They cut Panorama stipend from 1,000 to 500. They cut prize money for PAN. They took PAN man land away from PAN, man. They rent PNM Minister building for 50,000 more than what they were renting an ex-man building for. They cut sport camps for 20,000 young children every July, August holidays. They cut that for 8 years. That's a zone of no opportunity. That is PNM. So you see, when you come to debate, you must know what existed, what was there, what opportunities were taken away, and where we are going. They cut funding, they're stopping there now. They cut funding. And those sport camps included the differently abled. If you talk to the differently abled and the communities of Special Olympics, they will cry for those sports camps with great coaches. They cut the sport development officers at the Ministry of Sport. 75 of them used to go around the country teaching, identifying talent, injecting discipline, building self-esteem. They cut that. You are not aware? They cut the sport caravans that were going around between 2010 and 2015 in rural communities looking for talent, coaching, putting science in it. You didn't know that. They cut school feeding from 76,000 breakfasts and them like breakfasts, but 76,000 breakfasts and 76,000 lunches under Tim Gopi Singh. They cut that down before COVID to 48,000. Them cut food in children's belly, and you come here to tell us about opportunity. We are aware, we are involved, and we will fix it. They cut funding to UTT. They cut out programs in UTT. They cut and closed down 5 MIC centers, closed down 6 NESC centers. Were you aware of that? They cut baby milk grant to feed children, right? Baby milk, key generation, cognitive development, fats, lipids, and so on, so they could be intelligent. Them cut that from poor people. So don't come and preach to me about zones of opportunity. The opportunity arrived on April 28th because we got rid of the PNM. We want to diversify the economy. Did you know they closed down THTTI, that's the Hotel Institute? So they want to bring sandals, but I nobody to walk in the sandals. So it's best we wear slippers. They closed down Nursing Academy in El Socorro that was built by Kamala Prasad Visesa and transformed the Ministry of Youth. They 3,200 nurses between 2011 and 2015. They closed that down. Lack of opportunity. They cut food card, food for people, from 42,000 in September 2015 down to 18,000. You see, you didn't know. I know you might be bored, it might hurt you, but when you come to debate and lecture, you have to research and have information, or else it becomes oppressive and people have trouble listening. But I listen good, you see? I heard everything you said.
I don't know, that particular senator, right, that independent senator, listen. Or just leave that guy alone, please. They ain't learned yet, my fellas, right? Leave that fella alone. You cannot debate with that guy. You cannot debate with him. He will beat you every day of the week, twice on a Sunday. You cannot debate with that guy. I'm surprised he holding a piece of paper, but he must was jotting long notes, eh? Because he does listen to everything, you know. Everything he is listening to inside of there, you know. He's one of them, you don't catch him sleeping, you know. So he does taking notes. Usually, he would just get up and rattle that off the top of his head. He has a brain like an elephant. But listen, if you want to learn how to be a master debater to the young people, when you see it about sitting in the Senate, wait for that guy to talk. You just sit down and wait for Anil Roberts to talk. And you will learn a lot about debating. Just leave that guy alone, please. Or let us leave him alone. Oh, God. Anyway. Shooter. Probably headline for me now. What is the headline? The headline is, I'll tell you now. The teachers sick out. Teachers sick out, I think I'll label it. Let me check and see. What's that? I ain't sent that for you. Clip for Thursday, bam, bam, bam. Oh, you sure? I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it in my sent email either. Oh, God, it must be one of those things that didn't go through. You know when my email backup, it don't go through. That's now, eh? I sent it to you now. I want people to see this headline. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I really couldn't. Let me see if it's good. You let me know if you get it. In the meantime, while we're organizing that, do not forget Keolic. Let me remind you guys about Keolic. We want to introduce the Keolic range of products backed by science, over 900 scientific and research and clinical trials, all made from that aged garlic extract. And we're talking about the cleanse and digestion, the blood pressure health, the cholesterol health, the total heart health, the circulation health, the Keo green powder drink mix, and the Keodophilus probiotics. And of course, you could pick up any one of these products in the Keolic range at a pharmacy or health store across the country. For more information, you can WhatsApp 728-0338. Also, Run Stefan Run. Oh yeah. So Run Stefan Run, we had to scale it on for the, You had to scale it on yesterday, you know. Yeah. So Run Stefan Run, we definitely on Sunday, April 26th. All right, 6 a.m., over $40,000 in cash and prizes. people go out and get registered. No, not go out, but get on your phone, your computer, go to trinbagoevents.com. That is trinbagoevents.com, and please get registered right now. All right, that's all you have to do. Go to trinbagoevents.com, get registered, and of course, just follow the information. It is $200 to register. You all know how we do it. I'm keeping the price at $200 because this has nothing to do with alcohol. So it's not no alcohol price that went up here. This is not like the Christmas party, right? So it's $200. We're going to have a terrific morning on the 26th of April. I'm planning to improve it with a few other fun ideas so you could bring out the children. All right. So we're gonna have a few, like a little bouncy castle or a little play park for the kids, that kind of thing. So when everybody coming back in, the children could play. We'll have people to supervise the kids and things like that, right? We also have a lot of prizes, a lot of giveaways. All in all, we just do it plenty hampers. We just give away microwave. We just give away all kind of things, from big items to small items all in between. So Run, Stefan, Run 2026, it is on. You're going to get your t-shirt, your medal, your customized medal. We upping the medal game this year. So I already have Digimaniacs who worked on the artwork here. I want to thank them for this. We also have Digimaniacs working on the medal design, a design that you will see very, very soon. Once we approve it, we have to send to China to have those medals made. So we have to send for it to be made and then shipped back. And we're going to be ready to go on the 26th of April, all right? So 6 a.m. will be the start time as usual. I'm asking you all to come out in your numbers, all right? And you could bring your family, like I said, all right? We're working on some other deals with certain people in terms of all the little promotions, Kiss with the Bread giveaway, all of that we're working on. I know all they like to get all their bread, eh? Jesus, Lord. I never see people rush bread, so Lord Father. All right, so get registered. trinbagoevents.com. Go there and get registered online. All right? Nice. All right, you have it there? Put up the headline for me now. Teachers sick out. Tutor denies knowledge of action as wage dispute leads to protests, disrupting school operations. I am really, really confused. There is no wage dispute. There is no wage dispute. You negotiated for 4% under the PNM. Oh, sorry, you didn't negotiate. The PNM gave you 4%. You accepted. That was for a particular period. The next period that was negotiated was 2020 to 2023, where your former president, Lumpkin, accepted 5%. Cabinet last week, Thursday, approved your increase. So, I don't know what wage dispute you are talking about. But more to that, hundreds of parents were forced to rush to schools to collect their children following a nationwide wave of teacher absenteeism, believed to be a silent protest over unpaid salary increases promised for this month. So because you can't get for the month of January, all the inconveniencing parents and children. That making sense, tutor? The disruption came just hours after the Ministry of Education issued a statement confirming that Cabinet had approved salary increases agreed with Chief Personnel Officer Dr. Daryl Dindial in April last year. All right? And I understand the action went on yesterday and Tuesday. Now, this is the interesting part. Tutor denied organizing or supporting any protests. The president, the man with the girl name, Crystal Bevin Ash, said the association had received reports of low attendance by both teachers and students and immediately began investigating. Saying, quote, Chuta had absolutely no part to play in the aforementioned development, as we have always maintained that we are and always will be a responsible association. Right? Ash confirmed that some schools had been affected and were forced to dismiss students early. Right. So let me get this straight. The president of Chuta is trying to tell us that Chuta, which is the association that represents all teachers, that have a president, newly elected president, you trying to tell me that you didn't organize this and you don't know what's going on? So you trying to tell us that the thousands of teachers across Trinidad and Tobago somehow came together without your knowledge as the president and decided to have a sick out? The viewers of this program and parents across Trinidad and Tobago, you could pick sense out of nonsense. Right? You could pick sense out of nonsense. The inconvenience that you all have caused the teachers for absolutely no reason is unbelievable. While I didn't sick out when Oliver was getting 4% for 8 years, why didn't sick out then? Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all in case you missed that story. That the association in charge of teachers is trying to tell parents and the population that a nationwide sick out where teachers did not show up for school for 2 days, that the association that represents those individuals that have a president who does call the shots is trying to say that somehow, some way, they organized that without his knowledge. Insulting people's intelligence will get you absolutely nowhere. I could guarantee you that. Right? We take the final break and we'll come back and wrap up with the birthdays. We'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
This week, Classic Russo continues. On Wednesday, 28th January, Classic Russo is back at home, City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain, with Ladies' Night. 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. On Thursday, 29th, it's not because you retire. It's Retirees' Night with a special retirees price of $125. Both shows 8 p.m. And on Friday, 30th January, we're at the Coco Shed La Brea from 7 p.m. featuring our star-studded cast. All-rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Twiggy, Dr. Wilby, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco offices, New City Mall, and for La Brea at the Coco Shed till showtime. Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
If you're planning an event, make us your first option. At Reality of a Dream, we can make your event memorable. We can assist in planning your corporate functions, moderate gatherings, family occasions, christenings, and more. We also cater for weddings and other special occasions. Our newly renovated venue includes a majestic entryway, which takes you along a path to a fantastic indoor facility which can accommodate up to 80 dining guests. A recently completed, fully air-conditioned, beautifully designed wing, which maintains the theme and flow of Reality of a Dream, adds 30 extra seats for dining guests. In total, we can now seat a total of 110 dining guests. Come see for yourself the splendor that awaits you. Walk along the path and make your way to the breathtaking, well-maintained swimming pool and gazebo, and also the entire grounds of Reality of a Dream. We've also updated the Dream Suite, which comes with all modern conveniences, where guests can enjoy the feeling of an exquisite retreat overlooking the entire area. Reality of a Dream caters to professional events. We provide secured parking for guests, so call us at 332-6880 and ask for Harriet. Located at number 15 Moses Avenue, San Juan. Reality of a Dream, making dreams come true every day.
All right, so we're back. And just a couple things very quickly as we get to the birthdays. Edenites Clinic, one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. Of course, they offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, halotherapy, nutritional programs, weight loss programs, and more, as well as consultation services. And you can check them out at any one of their two locations, Trin City or Chaguanas. And you can give them a call on 640-8985 or 613-7571. You can also WhatsApp them on 493-9196. It is Eden Heights Clinic. Check them out. All right, and let me get Lashana. So we got Lashana's palette designs. And if you're tired of choosing between furniture you can afford and furniture that actually lasts, at Lashana Palette Designs, you don't have to compromise. They handcraft custom furniture from quality treated pallets and teak. Real craftsmanship, real durability, real affordability. Your dream piece doesn't have to be at a dream budget. So call them today on 366-0800 or follow them on Instagram at Lashana Palette Designs and check them out. Quality furniture, honest prices. All right. And we get to the birthdays. The birthdays. There was a nice video online with Jolene John Boy. She went on, she and Kareem Marcel. She went on into Laventille West, I think he's the MP for that. And they were looking at some of the work that needs to be done there. And all I'm saying, when you see that video, I didn't get time to show it today, but maybe tomorrow morning before we get to our guest. Why it can't be like that all the time? You understand? Why all you had to go to the gutter? You know, I mean, the gutter politics and all kind of thing, when it could just be like that. You lose an election, all right, these people in power now, let me work with them to see what I could get done for my constituents. And at the end of the day, at the end of 5 years, your constituents will make a decision on whether they want you or they want, you know what I mean? But you don't. Anyway, it's just a refreshing clip. Morning to Miss John, Jolene John, Minister John. Happy birthday going out to a sweet, loving, caring, and handsome husband, Ryan. And a happy anniversary to us, my soulmate for life. I don't know who's the us, but Ryan, happy anniversary to you and your better half, and happy birthday to you, man. I mean, Ryan, you get catch her? I'm just telling you. She get you to marry her on your birthday? Oh God, pressure. That is one gift. Wishing Jean Balgobin a very happy birthday, and this is coming from her daughter Christy, and they've been avid viewers of the show for years now. They don't miss the show at all. Wishing her all the happiness in the world. Thank you. And this is coming on from Christy Balgobin. All right. So yep. Happy birthday to you, to Jean. Nice. Also, happy heavenly 29th golden birthday to our loving daughter, Dr. Princess Changur, coming from mom and dad, Narayan and Geeta, and siblings Candice, Sean, and Jamal. And not forgetting adorable niece Charlotte and brother-in-law Ryan. So happy birthday going out to, well, heavenly birthday. I remember when the doc passed away some years ago, and so on and so forth. And of course, you know, still celebrate the birthday, and nothing is wrong with that. Special birthday greetings to a beautiful wife, Simoy Campbell Roberts, coming from her husband, Roll Roberts, children, Jarrell and Jazarian Roberts, mom, Nyla Campbell, all her sisters, brother, nieces, and nephews, and they adore and love you, wishing her God's blessings as she celebrates another year of life today, and may your day be filled with love. And she's a huge fan of Breaking Dawn. Pick up yourself. Happy birthday, Samoy. Nice, man. And finally, good morning, Stefan. Sending 70th birthday blessings on the 29th of January to our friend, Catherine Sugrim. I wish you good health, happiness, prosperity, and long life. May smiles of joy never depart from you. Love you, girl. From your friend Monica and Kishore. All right, so happy birthday going out to Catherine. Lovely. So that's it for today, people. We are out. Do have a terrific day. I see that somebody put up a post saying their carnival is over. They left Despa's Panyard last night, and as they walk out the Panyard, somebody snatched a gold chain, robbed them of the gold chain and gone. So they say the carnival over. You know, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but don't let that dampen your spirits, you know. We out.
Good morning. Welcome to Break.